Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to today's festivities. I'm your girl, the goddess, one third of the Mile High Club, and one of your co hosts for today's evening. And I'm accompanied alongside my sisters. Y'all already know it's Dora and Rosey. And today we've got not one, not two, but three very powerful Polynesian women making a name for themselves in today's male dominated business and entertainment world. But we'll dive a little bit deeper into our guests and go ahead and introduce themselves. But first off, I really wanted to just say thank you all and welcome to the very first annual Mile High Club Forum.
All right, so sitting in the corner next to me, we got the powerful, the wonderful, the beautifully beaded right here. You see this mug right
Look
here?
at that.
That part.
We got Tilomai Hill. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Tilomai Hill. And I am a makeup artist and men's groomer in the entertainment industry and also an artist manager as of a year ago. So
Thank you guys for having me.
Woohoo.
I did not know about the artist management part. Ooh. Oh, we're getting into that later.
A woman of many hats.
I know. And then across from me, we have two season one guests, but starting from my left, we have the beautiful, the fit model, who from season one, episode 8, I believe, and now brand owner of Thirsty Hype.
Ooh, yes.
We have Desiree Kose here.
What up, everyone? My name is Desiree Kose. Again, I'm a young entrepreneur, but I also work in the fashion industry, freelance, and I do product development.
Damn. Y'all don't do that, but. And then finally, a sis I've known for quite some time, a very, very long time. She started at LA Sparks as an intern, worked her way to the event coordinator for the LA Clippers, and now she's on a whole new venture. Are you back? I believe you're back with the Sparks. Yes. We have Leota here, everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Leota. I work in professional sports, running talent entertainment, and specifically in the WNBA.
Just to name a few.
period.
But those are our guests for this evening. We gonna get into some fun shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, y'all. I'm excited for this one.
Are
super
you guys
excited.
ready?
Yeah, these answers.
I got a lot to say.
No, she got a lot to say.
And do.
Let's please keep an eye on Tila's cup. Let's keep that full. The whole night through.
Okay, with that being said, our first topic for today, or the first thing that we want to dive into, is being a woman and being specifically a PI woman. Since I know we can all relate, we didn't touch on it, but I am half Samoan, half Mexican. If we can go around the table and just say, just so it kind of helps the audience clarify. So, Tilo,
I am half Samoan and half Caucasian.
I am half Hawaiian, half Samoan.
For someone here.
Full Samoan.
Full Samoan.
oh,
Period. We all
divided.
sat on the
Jamie.
side of the table.
That wasn't planned.
This is not on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not on purpose.
Of course.
Okay, well, now that we introduced ourselves and like our ethnicities and stuff, my first part I did want to say is I have a quote specifically. A strong woman understands that the gifts such as logic, divisiveness, strength are just as feminine as intuition and emotional connection. She values and uses all her gifts. And personally, what are some of your gifts that you use within your world or as a PI woman?
I think one thing that helped me in my career and for me getting far and what I learned growing up is that there's no task too small for you. Obviously, as like Samoans, fa'als are a thing, and it don't matter how old you are, your parents are gonna be like, "You gonna do this?
That
Like, go
part.
take out the trash." And so I think that's one thing that people respect about Polynesian women and myself in the industry is that knowing that no matter what title I have or who I am, I'm willing to do the stuff that my interns do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think like another gift that we can all relate to is like loyalty, because that's so strong, like
Ooh.
family knit
Yeah.
and
Is
stuff.
it a gift or?
Hold on.
I mean, it's both too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a gift?
Let's talk about that. No,
I
it's
know.
okay.
But in a positive note,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
people you want to be loyal to. I think that's so significant, especially in our culture, because on my Samoan side, it's so strong, and I'm so close to my family. And I feel like some people don't often see like loyalty in like tight-knit family communities, which I feel like we all can relate to. I did want to send this specifically like women and PI women, and like you kind of view yourself different when you're younger, and now as you're a grown adult woman coming into yourself, how do you think your viewpoint of yourself has changed? Has it changed significantly? Did you like always kind of, often some girls do degrade themselves or think down on themselves, and then you come into who you are, or do you think you're still working on that?
I feel like I've always known that I had something different. Um, Growing up in a small town on the north shore of Hawaii, um, Warren High School, everything else was at least an hour, 30 minutes away, um, and very heavily influenced Mormon community. I didn't know any better because, it was the just do as you're told and all this stuff. Not that anything was wrong with how I grew up. I don't regret it one bit. I think I've always questioned a lot of things around me because I've had a mind of my own, and I just didn't know how to express it or step into that and step into what is Tilo with, outside of everything else, which is why I've always known I wanted to move to LA. What I was gonna do, had no freaking idea. I've learned so much more about myself being out here for the past, I don't know how many years. And when I go back home, it's always with a new set of eyes. Like, I can't really connect to a lot of things at home anymore, except my family and stuff. I can acknowledge it, but I think personally the growth for me really stemmed in, like, knowing that I can be in spaces like this. And I think it just pushed me to a different kind of level that I've never experienced before. And a lot of the people I work with is people that I grew up watching on TV, running home, watching, the music videos, TRL and all that stuff. And it wasn't until this past year I really sat back and really looked at what I do and who I work with, and I was just like, how the hell did I end up doing this stuff?
Yeah.
Because makeup was not even the thought in my mind at all.
When you first moved here?
When I first moved here, I came here with the airlines, and I just wanted to get out and go out and do whatever was happening. I was doing it with everybody else, but it was a blessing in disguise because being in this industry made me grow up quick.
Yep.
Grow up quick and just test my boundaries and test my ability to really think outside the box, like what you were telling me.
Okay, so the last question I had for this segment is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to the next generation of PI women that are trying to come in this industry or maybe break through to a new industry?
Man, there's just so many things that, like, you learn over the years that is, like, they can be gems, but is it going to be useful to somebody who's really trying out, who's really, like, just first starting off and it's like they got nowhere? You know what I'm saying? I think that was, like, a really big part of where I wanted to start. I was like, I have nobody to look to, like you said. And it's just like, but what would be useful for that person who's just, like, trying to take that first step? I think, man.
I can piggyback off kind of what you just said, is like, just reach out to the people on social media, like, that you see, that you may relate to. Like, the thing that can happen is they don't answer you, or they can tell you no, like, okay, move on to the next. You can't take, like, every no or, like, downfall and, like, stay there. You got to keep pushing and reach out, because someone can help you. Like, somebody did eventually help you guys, or, they threw you in there, or somebody did help you along that. So you might get lucky and you can just keep pushing.
And you can't take anything personal.
Yeah, you can.
Definitely.
Woo.
That should be a whole other question.
Leave that, feelings, leave that at home if you want to step into anybody's world. Like,
I guess a piece of advice, though, that I can give genuinely is to live a life abundantly and out of a scarcity mentality. Because whether
You said a lot of big words.
Siri?
whether you believe
Siri.
in yourself or not, whether you have it or not, you already have what you need to get where you're going. So just literally push. Like, that's all it is. Like, just push. So, yeah,
What?
that part.
That was so poetic, Des Kose.
Yeah, I almost wanted to snap. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just do a round the table snap to end this
'Cause I think
segment out.
there's a lot of excuses that we make as, like, maybe even women too specifically, where we're just like, oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, I'm not this, I'm not that. I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm broke, all this stuff, where it's just like,
Okay, hold on. Being broke is not an excuse, all right?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I
But
mean,
financially,
there's a lot that make that excuse.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
it many times.
yes, you'll never have it. You'll never have it if you think you don't have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, live outside of that scarcity mentality and be abundant.
When all is said and done, I think all of us here at the table can agree that we're very proud products of our ancestors. You know, they gave up a lot for us to be here, and we're here now. And if there's anything that really combines or unites the two worlds between us living here in the States and those living back in the islands, it's the names that we carry. In the Samoan culture especially, you know, our names tell a story. They give a quick history lesson. They tell us where we've been, where we're going, and who we are. And in the business world, you know, the first thing that comes out of your mouth when you're talking about your business is the name of your business. So I kind of wanted to talk to you ladies about how important your name is to you, whether that be just culturally or both in the business world and, you know, culturally.
I actually got chin checked by my dad for shortcutting my name.
So
Or
people
like-
calling you Tila?
Yeah. My dad. Sorry, Dad. He didn't chin check me, but he did definitely check me one time. I think I saw one of my friends while I was with him, and he was like, they were like, Tilo, yeah. I'm like, what's up? So we were talking, and it's my dad, and he's like, I can already see it in his face. Hi, nice to meet you, Dada. And then we're leaving, and he was like, what did they call you? I was like, Tilo? And he goes, that's not your name.
Ooh.
I was like, yeah, it is. Hello? Everyone on the street knows me as Tilo. I'm like, what you talking about? And he was like, your name is Tilomai. And I was like, dang, like that got serious. But like in all like honesty, I understood what he meant.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, your name was given to you for a reason.
Yeah.
And that is disrespectful that you would shortcut your name for people to understand or even make it easier for them to say your name. And you over there saying everybody else's name, but you can't check them when they can't say your name right. I was like, dude, I get like Tilomia, Tilomai, da-da-da. And he goes, that is your opportunity to make them understand where you come from.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to hear that again. That's why, if you notice, Q them will never shortcut my name.
Yeah.
Gotti, you know, Mela, everybody that I'm around, they will never call me by Tilo anymore because of what my dad said. And that's something that, like I said, I was joking about it when he checked me about it. I was like, dang, like, you have to do all that. I get it. You just pulled me aside and told me, but I understand. And I think besides the fact of what it means and where it comes from, my name in the industry that I work in, there is only one, which is me. And everything that I do outside of work, on social media, you know, in a personal space with whoever I am, it reflects my family.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about names, like, yeah, now I'm more cognizant of, like, making sure I introduce who I am, where I'm from, and they're always like, oh, so, you know, where are you from? Or what is that? Is that, like, Hawaiian? I'm like, no.
There's always a default.
Let's dive deeper, and it's my opportunity to really create more visibility with our people. And I'm grateful my dad did that because I wouldn't have taken it as seriously as I was. And it happened in the beginning of the industry for me. So now I'm a lot more like educating people and they want to know more. And, you know, their only connection to Samoan is The Rock.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, no, well, oh, the football player did. I'm like, no, let's try again. Like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
So now you know me. And then there's people I can introduce you to, but my name is everything in the industry.
Yeah.
Outside of the industry and my family, who I'm representing, I feel like it comes with a lot of, like we were talking about earlier, loyalty and trust. Every time I work with somebody, I want to make sure that every time they hear my name, they can trust that whatever they're saying, good. I don't have a bad rep, y'all.
You don't.
I really don't.
No way, no how.
It could not be me. But no, like respectfully, like I take that very seriously everywhere I go. So our names are everything, and I'm grateful that I can have the opportunity every time I meet people, because now they'll always bring it up, and they're just like, "Hey, I'm going to Hawaii. I want to meet some of the Usos," and I'm like, "Dang." And maybe just
You're like,
that
don't talk to
last
anybody
part.
about
Yeah. Don't tell them I've been teaching you this stuff, but that's me. So.
No, but that's definitely true because at the end of the day, we're all just building a network here. Like, whatever industry you get into, it's about the people you talk to and how you talk to people. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, what kind of first impressions really draw you to work with others?
You can know somebody, and we all know people,
Yeah.
but people that you actually have relationships with are the ones that are going to take you further.
Yep.
And maintaining a relationship also is something that it's so hard, but
Very hard. It
it's
requires
very
a lot
hard.
of
It
effort.
requires
Oh,
and
yes,
that's
it
something
does.
I'm working on too.
So one question that I always wanted to know, especially from your guys' perspective, was what was a specific moment of doubt that you had that almost took you out of your industry?
That took you out.
I don't think I didn't really have that moment until this year.
Ooh, wow.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
and which is also crazy for myself because there was a lot of barriers that were broken for me this year. But I think as I'm like hitting my mid-30s now, I'm starting to think, I don't know if it's a Capricorn thing. I don't know if it's just like me just trying to be 10 steps ahead, 10 years ahead, and me just overthinking everything, which I am an overthinker. But I've been really trying to discover like the balance in my life.
Yeah.
Because especially before COVID, I was not sleeping at all.
Yeah.
I was doing the most in a sense where I was going from a whole day set to a night set to a day set to a night set, only because I was living in a space of scarcity. Like, I was like, well, if I don't take this job, then they're not going to hire me and they're not going to want to call me again. So I was on the go. And then when COVID hit, out of nowhere, I was like, wait, what do you guys do when you don't work? Like, what do you guys do on the weekends? Because I didn't know what a weekend was. Because I was saying yes to everybody. And I was like, even if you want me to, like, organize your kit, I'll come and help you. Just because I want to build relationships with people.
Yeah.
And that was, like, really, really bad. Not that, but I knew I didn't want to come out of it. I was just like, well, how can I move without an industry that's actually moving now?
Yeah.
But after that and these past couple years out of COVID, I'm like, COVID was probably the best thing that ever happened to me
Same.
because I didn't know how to take a break. I didn't know how to to relax, not even have fun, but just relax and know that everything that is meant for me will be there, and whatever is meant for me will come my way, and I don't have to like force anything anymore. So if anything really was to take me out, it was like recently, probably in the summer. Like I was just ready to disappear. Literally go on social media, like change my number and just like dip out and move somewhere.
Yep.
I'm grateful for the people that I have around me, especially like the Pacific Islanders that are in my industry, which are killing it. Like shout out to Meeks, Jordan, and everybody because they work with some big people too, and they're the people that I can talk to because they understand like the mental gymnastics you go with back and forth and like, okay, my friends are killing it. Like, what's the next thing for me? Like how, not that I'm topping them, but I didn't know my worth for a while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until coming out of that whole phase of like, I'm just tired. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I need to like really, I don't know how to turn off my head. Like turn off the ideas, turn off what's the next move for me? And that was going to take me out is because I understood that I didn't know how to do that. And not that it was scaring me, but that's more important to me now than ever.
Yeah.
Because my body is taking a toll now. Like I can't get out of bed if I'm having a day off. I won't pick up my phone, and I was telling you earlier, like my social anxiety is bad. I can't even exist in events and spaces without like itching to walk out the door, just run away, And I don't ever want to be like that. Like I want to be able to actually be present, and I didn't know how to be present for so long because I was thinking about the next job, the next opportunity. So, that was like recently for me, and I've been doing this in the industry for like 8 years already. And then it's not alarming, but it was very sad for me to realize that recently. Like, I was just like, well, what are you outside of? And that was really the whole thing that was going to take me out. Who am I outside of, like, this
What you
industry
do.
now?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what I do and who
Yeah.
I work with. I didn't know that
Yeah.
until this past summer.
Speak on
That's
that. Yeah.
not that I really know right now, but I've taken time to really define that during the summer. And still currently to this very day as I'm talking to you guys. Like, I'm starting to learn things as I'm talking to people.
Yeah.
And not even people in my industry, but people outside, like my family. I'm really starting to take the time to connect and ground myself again. Because I've only, and this is just me personally, I'm only where I'm at now because of my family.
Right.
For a long time, I had to isolate them because I'm like, they don't understand me. They don't understand that I can't sleep right now because I have to go to this next job. But that was a very hard, like, tug of war for me to work with. And here we are now.
Yeah.
She's still in it, y'all.
Yep.
We're still here. We're trying to figure it
Still
out.
pushing, still figuring
Just
it out.
grateful.
I think that's kind of like the theme also, like, of everybody in their own respective industries. We're literally all just still trying to figure it out. I think that feeling never goes away. That idea never goes away of I have to just figure it out. And I think also that's just also just instilled in Polly's, like, we just gonna figure it out. Like, even just in life in general, like, oh, I ain't got $200, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure that out. So I think that's just something special, I think, about us and as a people. We just always gonna figure it out.
But sometimes it's interesting because you're surrounded. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's for these guys, but for me personally, like, I'm around people that don't know what's going on. Like, they do know actually what's going on. Like, in a sense where we're here to get this job done and to make sure it comes out properly and make sure that everyone's doing their job. But you ask them, like, so what's the goal? Like, what does it look like for you at the end? I don't know. I'm just riding this wave. You're around
I'm just here for the
indecisive
journey.
people all the time. They just
Yeah.
know they want the bag majority of the time. I want to be big, but they can't. I think that's something, too, that I wish I knew back then. Like, not that you have to have it all figured out, but you have to have a direction, like an end goal at that moment. Have a goal that you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
And that has to be specific. What does it feel like? What does your surroundings look like? Who do you want to be surrounded by? And all that. Because when you don't, you kind of just land where you land. It's just like manifesting. When people talk about manifesting,
Right.
you have to be detailed.
Don't get me
about it.
started.
Hello.
Kose has entered the building.
Manifesting and praying, whatever you do, God, Allah, I don't know, whatever it looks like to you, you know what I mean? Like, for real, whatever it looks like to you, be very intentional and be very descriptive about it. How does that feel to you when you're in that environment? And that's where you'll end up, regardless of what it is, Hopefully it's what you want to do, but at the end, it's where you need to be in that moment.
To go along with that, that's basically kind of like, just to sum it all up, it's that we all have an instinctive deal of pressure that we put on ourselves, that we kind of feel from outside factors. So I wanted to ask, like, I know that we feel pressure all the freaking time, but do you ever feel pressured, especially as the woman in your family, to do better and prove basically yourself and how good you can be by yourself so that your family can trust you?
My dad said, don't come back home.
Okay.
He said, don't come back home. In the most loving and respectful way somebody could tell you that, he said, don't come back here. There's nothing here for you. And that stuff right there, like, that stuff that, like, I hold close to my chest because I'm like, I don't want that to be an option, even though I know it's an option deep down because, that's our community. Those are our families. And so, but I hold on to that to just keep going. Like, I don't have no other option but to make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your plan B was taken away.
Yeah, exactly.
So you only on plan A.
Exactly.
How hard was it for you to get your family to accept what it is you do?
I think it was more like the support was there. They just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't understand. They still don't understand. Everybody just thinks I'm a designer. But, like, I'm not.
Generic, like,
Yeah. And so they're just like, oh, yeah, you sew? I'm like, I hate sewing. I hate sewing. I'm like, I'll pattern a draft. Like, I'll draft a pattern before I do any type of sewing.
But for y'all's sake, yes.
Yeah, for you, I'll do a little hem here and there. You know what I'm saying? I'll make it shake. But, yeah, they just didn't understand. And so I think I still have to show them because they still don't think, like, I'll work from home. And they'll be like, why aren't you at work?
Oh, yeah,
And
they
I'm
don't
like,
understand the work from home.
I am working. They're like, why don't you go do the dishes? I'm like, I have a meeting in 10 minutes. What do you need? Like, I'm like, what? But yeah, so it's just like them understanding because it's just totally different, just totally new, which is cool.
So it sounds like it was fairly, you know, a positive reaction to when you had to, like, you know, tell your parents, like, yeah, I'm doing this now. And they're like, okay, cool. Were they like, as long as you bring home a check, like, it's cool? Or did you actually, like, you know, you said you had to teach, like, we basically have to teach our family what it is we do.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, was it ever that where it's just like, honestly, as long as you bring home a check, I don't care?
I really, honestly, I would rather not talk about my finances with my parents for real, because then it's just like a whole nother, like, a whole nother thing. Like, I just want them to know that, like, I can help them, and I'm doing good for myself.
Right.
That's all that is, but yeah.
Second to last question that I'm going to ask you guys, is there anything that you had to heal from that actually, from healing from that, you actually progressed with not only your career, but personally, your life, you know, just everything kind of just got better from that one moment of aligning yourself? So mine was.
Yeah, what is yours?
Mine was probably like accepting that,
All good?
whoa.
All good?
I don't want to answer this question, never mind.
The tears coming from the host.
You know, we said if anybody cried, get it. Don't fucking get this shit out.
Oh, no, get it, please.
Take your time.
You got it, girl.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I had to heal a lot from the relationship I have with my dad. I crack a lot of jokes about this shit on the show. I talk about how I don't have a dad. I do have a dad, but like because of how distant we are, I didn't realize how bad that affected me until this show. Until we started having, you know, people come on who do have good relationships with their families and do especially have good relationships with their dads. And I didn't realize how much I missed that and how much I needed it to help me grow until, I want to say it was Usinko's episode, funny enough, when we were talking about fucking Father's Day of all shit. Like,
It was our father. We had a Father's Day episode.
and, you know, I would literally look to him and I was like, are you a good dad? And he was like, yeah, I think I'm a good dad. And then I was just like, wow, Joy, you got problems. And I still haven't talked to my dad about this because we just don't have that relationship anymore. But I did realize for myself, I was like, if I had a really, really good relationship with my dad, I feel like I'd probably be, a different person, but I'd be probably a more accepting person and a more respectful person. And I wouldn't have as many problems as I do. Just because it all stems from that. And I didn't realize how bad it stemmed from that until now when I started crying about how bad it is. But especially when it comes to like dating and like choices and careers, I notice for me, I always accept less because my dad always gave less. And so now, from learning all of that, I had to like teach myself how to stop accepting less than I deserve.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I have such a strained relationship with my dad, because he never gave more than he should have.
Yeah.
He never acted like a dad. He never showed me that he wanted to be a dad. So coming full circle and coming to terms with all of that kind of helped a lot, because now I don't accept anything less than what I want, than what I deserve. Like when it comes to friends, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to surrounding myself with people that I want in my life. If you don't give me what I know I deserve from you, especially because I'm giving you my heart and my soul and just all these pieces of me, if you don't return anything or reciprocate that, I don't want you in my life.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that I had to heal from. I'm still healing from it. But it's pushed me forward, especially with this, because, yeah, it made me realize, like, we deserve the platform that we have. Specifically looking at you two. Like, we really deserve the platform that we have, and we deserve a lot of the respect from our peers because we're able to do these things, because we know how to do them, because we're good at what we're fucking doing.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't get that, but we are good at what we do. And you gonna respect it. You gonna see that we deserve all of our flowers.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I had to heal from.
And you're still healing.
And I'm still
I think
healing.
it's I can resonate with a lot of that. I know I was just talking to him about my dad checking up on me and stuff. Like this is very recent in a sense where I can relate to that because my dad just barely came back in our lives like what 2014 or something. And sorry dad area. but growing up he was never around. And respectfully, he had my half brother on the side and did whatever he did. When I tell you he wasn't around, he was not around.
Yeah.
So we just had my mom and my uncle that stepped in, and pretty much like the village raised us. So all the father and daughter dances, my uncle, my first cousin's dad, my uncle Johnny would take us to all the dances. He would include us with his daughters to go, and that was our normal growing up. When he came back into our lives after we were adults already. And learning that dynamic and how to make that make sense because my parents got remarried. Like, he did some time and stuff, and he came out, he got remarried. It happened within a month.
Oh, wow.
So we had a dad within a month, and we were just like 25 or something like, wait, do we call him dad? I'm confused. Like, how does this work? Like, wait, they're together now, they're holding hands. That's weird. Like, that was a lot of firsts for us, like a long time ago for me. I was the one that had the worst relationship with him. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Like, like the child that you wanted to just beat her ass every single time. Only because, you watch your parents go through things. I watched my mom go through all the things, and I was, okay, you don't know who you're talking to. That's my mom. All this stuff. And my other siblings, their healing was a lot different because they embraced him when he came back. I didn't. I was just like, you gotta show me something because I can't deal with this.
Right.
We've been okay this far, and it's just so like this is God moment. God brought us back together where we're living in the same apartment. We had to force each other to learn about each other. It was very reluctant, but they were like, no, you're the kid. You listen, da-da-da. I'm like, dude, I'm a whole 26-year-old. I'm a grown adult. Gotta figure this out. And it wasn't until we had like really bad situations where we're just yelling at each other and stuff. But my mom had to guide us through that whole process because my mom, she's such a forgiver. She has a big ass heart, and I was just like, no, remember what he did to us? She's like, but you can't judge him for who he was then to who he is now. He's coming different. I was like, yeah, I don't remember him back then. But, I say all that to say that this whole growing spurt with me and my dad, especially me and my dad, like, that's my dog now. And no one can talk shit, only me. But I think the healing part, I'm still trying to heal from it. Like, I will not get back into another relationship until I figure it out. Because I don't know if I'm getting into it because if I'm really still trying to build my relationship with my dad and maybe that person can feel it, or if it's like, just feeling a void for that very moment. But, I want to say that word to you because I'm happy that you're doing that. And it's not like the end of the road. It's a long road, but it's not a lonely road. Because we're all here trying to work through it, and we're all here trying to figure it out. And to this very day, me and my dad are still trying to figure shit out.
Right.
It's not always peaches and cream. Like, he'll be like, are you okay? Hey, why the fuck did you not do this and that? I'm like, I can't be triggered anymore because now we're working on something. So it's all in time when you're ready. When you're ready, and that's when the real healing will start for you, But congratulations. You're doing great.
Yes.
I digress.
So for all of you guys' accomplishments and, being able to heal from those things, heal from your own struggles and your own personal traumas, and moving that into an industry where you can thrive and you can keep pushing yourself, how do you guys celebrate you? This is actually a question that Leah asked our panel last year, but I love the question so much because I feel like it's a question that does need to be asked. How do you guys celebrate you and your accomplishments?
Oh, man.
Do you guys celebrate you and your accomplishments?
I'm just
Looking at the Capricorns right now, and they looking like,
receiving,
ooh.
Like, how do we celebrate ourselves, or how do we?
How do you celebrate
Wins
the
or just
wins?
like in general?
How do you celebrate either one? How do
Okay.
you celebrate your life?
I would say just like giving thanks to God first and foremost, because it could be taken away from you at any second. And also realizing that where we are now is we once prayed for that moment. And so now you have to give thanks because, you know, you prayed for this and he saw you through. And like not on the spiritual side, but I just be having a drink at home. I just be like cheers to me.
Right.
Yeah, you have to. Man, I like to celebrate myself a lot, and like things where like.
And I love that about you. Yeah. You really do. I be living through it.
I know.
I just love joy, and I think
I love you too.
You too. And so I do things that just like will bring me joy. So whether that's traveling or just like being close to water or like, you know, going and saying what's up to my parents, but and sharing in those moments. But I just splurge on myself. I go to the spa. I'll be out here, all the little things.
Yes.
Really. Yeah.
Especially the spa.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it right here.
The spa will get you right.
She said an extra hour of sleep.
She said an hour of sleep.
Honestly, I ain't gonna fake it. I really don't know how to celebrate myself. That's just real. I don't, like I told you guys earlier, I have a hard time receiving anything. That's like to this very day. I mean, you guys see me at the event. I was like,
I know.
gosh, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But because it's like I see it as it's such a toxic relationship I have with me and just work in general. Like I'm so tired and exhausted, but I love this shit.
Yeah.
Like I really fucking do. And that's why I will lose sleep over it because it fills me with what I'm doing, but it's also draining me at the same time. So celebrating myself is literally, I would say celebrating myself is learning more about who I am as a person and what I will stand for and what I won't stand for and what I expect from people around me if I'm going to be in your life. I'm still trying to teach myself what that looks like and really accept people for who they are and not their circumstances.
Yeah.
No, I don't be judging nobody. Cameras, I don't judge. I don't judge nobody. You know, you do what you have to do and all this stuff, but I just know personally for me, I pick who's around me. I think I celebrate myself by really just I tell myself every day is one day at a time. One day, like this is today, tomorrow's tomorrow. Like I look forward to tomorrow because I know if I'm having a hard day, I'm like, there's always tomorrow. Let's just get to tomorrow right now. So it's more so like words of affirmation while I'm working through the shit. Because if that's one thing about our industry or just whatever you want to do, like if you don't love the process, you're not going to get the outcome.
Yeah.
Like that is one of the best things anyone has ever told me in the industry. Like you have to love what you do inside and out, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
Like, because if you don't love the process, the outcome won't be as fulfilling as you thought it was going to be in the end. And you can pretty much do anything in the world once you understand that there's a process to everything, and you love it.
Yeah.
So that's my way of celebrating is more work.
I feel
You
like
gotta be a different type of person except that Jasmine celebration.
it's true though.
That's how you are. That's why you relate to it.
Like, I love it so much.
I just like listening though.
I
Thank you
love
for speaking for
building.
both of us.
That's what it is. There's people like that, and I love building things left and right, and with people and by myself. So
It's true. Like sometimes people will say like, "Oh no, that's too stressful," or like you're just stressing yourself out. But that's like fire. That's like
it's a
fuel to my
challenge,
fire.
and
Yeah. Like I will take my 30-minute nap in 3 days, but it'll be like I'll be happy. I hate sleeping and waking up feeling like I didn't do anything, or like I
crazy
wasted
thing
time.
where they're like, "Oh my gosh, how did you get to where you're at?" And you're like,
Don't talk to me. I'm gonna tell you not to
"You
sleep.
don't want to know."
Scan my QR code.
And my QR code.
Right.
Like I have a tutorial on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys. And as a final way, I mean, for some of you who don't know how to accept celebration, I wanted us all to go ahead and have a cheers to each other. So, as a final thank you to you guys for not only coming today, but sharing your stories, sharing your struggles, and being very personable with all three of us here at the Mile High Club Forum. As a way to celebrate you guys from us, we want to go ahead and give you guys specifically Tilo. Actually, sorry, Tilomai. Tilomai. I wanted to raise a glass to all of you and thank you guys so much for spending time with us and for sharing as much of your knowledge and your intellect and your stories with not only us but with our audience of whoever knows how many people that you've inspired today. Because I know damn well I'm going home working on my damn self. But thank you guys for everything, for the relationships that we have with you guys, for the opportunities to be able to be around you guys, and for letting us enter your peace and space. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers. Yes, thank you.